guys. Hi, all things music. My name is Erica Fox, and I am a professional guitarist, a touring guitarist, and I'm currently out on the road with Maren Morris on the Dreamsicle World Tour.
I have to nerd out for just a second. I am indeed wearing my Dreamsicle World Tour shirt. I went last week.
No
Saw Erica in
way!
action. Yes.
Wait, where did you go? What
I
date?
w- I was in Highland Park.
No way! Oh,
Yeah,
I wish I knew
Chicago.
that. I would have come to say hi.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good
It
show.
was a great show. I had so much fun and
It was actually one of my favorite ones.
I love that. That's amazing. I'm glad when Maren was introducing everybody on stage and she said your name, I was like, I have to remember who this girl is because she is so cool and I need to keep up with her. So that's kind of my
No way.
how
Is
I
that how
found
you
you.
found me? And
Yeah.
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 Oh, I love
So
that. That's so cool.
Yeah, immediately after Abby texted me,
I'm
she's like,
so
"We
glad that we
have to interview
connected.
Erica. She's so cool."
That's so sweet. I love that so much. I'm so glad you guys reached out.
yeah.
We're very excited to have you. So, we'll start with our first question. We kind of like to just go back to the beginning. Was there a specific moment that you thought, like, I want to do music professionally, or was there like a live show or an artist that really made you think, like, that's what I want to do?
I think I've been wanting to do music for as long as I can remember. Like I used to play air guitar in the back of my parents' car to like whatever CDs that they were listening to at the time, like before I even really realized what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to like play concert videos in the living room and just crank the volume and sit me down and have me listen to them and watch them. And I like grew up thinking that was the coolest thing ever. I asked for a guitar and for guitar lessons when I was probably around 7 or 8. And
Wow.
at the time, my mom was like, "Oh, like you want to do something different every week. Like last night you told me that you wanted to be an astronaut, and then like to like a week ago it was like a firefighter or something." And so she was like, "If you stick with this and you prove to me that you really want to play guitar, then I'll get you one." When you turn 10. And sure enough, on my 10th birthday, I got my first guitar. And it was just like the thing that made me the happiest in the world. Like I would come home from school and like go to my room and play guitar. And my mom always tells me, even to this day, that she remembers me like coming home from school in a funk or whatever. And like if I went up to my room and played guitar for a couple hours, I'd come downstairs as like a completely different human being. Like I had been like cleansed or something.
Yeah.
And people around me always told me like what you should do for work should make you happy and like the ideal, life that work life that you have is something that like doesn't feel like work.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
And the only thing that I could think of that I had akin to that in my life was music and playing guitar. So I was like, I need to make this my reality. Like I have no other option.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started playing in bands and stuff when I was around 16 and I was in like a blues cover band in Montreal for a while.
That's
And
cool.
then I branched out to Toronto. Um I started going to a guitar camp called Guitar Workshop Plus when I was 16 and I went like almost every summer and I made a network of people there and then finally moved out to Toronto um and then people just saw me like I was doing my own music at the time, but people also saw that I was playing guitar, and my community of friends in the music industry started reaching out to me and asking if I would play guitar for them. They'd be like, I know that you sing and have your own project, but you play guitar and that's so awesome, and I need someone to play for me for XYZ. And I would always say yes.
Yep.
And then people started seeing me play guitar more and more, or someone would catch me at a gig and go, "Hey, can you play for me?" And I just decided that I would like never say no to anyone asking me to play guitar for them.
Yeah.
And it just had like a crazy snowball effect. Like after the pandemic, it was like almost nonstop. And I was working as a server at the time. Um, and then top of 2023 was when I was able to actually like quit my job and go full-time music. And I went on my first tour. And
What
yeah,
was your first
now
tour?
here I am doing this full time. It was with Devin Cole. It was
Cool.
opening for a band called Valley.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Oh my
love
gosh,
both of
really?
them. They're awesome.
That's so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, Valley's really good.
I know. I love Valley. They're so cool too. They're great people.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
is there like since you've been doing music professionally, is there a particular like performance gig or a tour moment that kind of shaped you in your career, either musically or personally, that kind of, I guess, not exactly turned the tide, but kind of made it so that you felt like you were really being successful in music?
Well, the first like big one that I can think of was for New Year's Eve of 2023, and it was with Devin Cole, and we played Rick Mercer's New Year's Eve, which is a huge deal in Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
And it was televised, and they had like the big cranes with the
Yeah.
cameras on them, like zooming in and out, and it was like in the town square, and there were like so many people, like as far as the eye could see, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm here. You know, that like you hear
Yeah.
like you're on air in three, two. And I
Yeah,
was
that's a
like,
wild thing to have in your ear.
You're like no pressure or
yeah,
anything though.
that was crazy. And that was like right before we kicked off that tour that I just mentioned.
Mhm.
So it really felt like, oh my gosh, like this is a turning point. Like this is the beginning of a crazy chapter.
Yeah.
And then more recently, um, playing with Maren, actually my first show ever with her was on Howard Stern.
Oh my
Wow.
And
gosh.
then we played Jimmy Fallon the same week. And that was just like, I didn't even know how to like compute that, you know? It was crazy.
That's trial by fire. That's a hard start. That's awesome though.
It was super challenging. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, if I can get through this, then I can do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. Multiple dreams come true and bucket list items checked off within like the span of just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts.
When you're like doing things like that, are you like in your head being like, okay, I need to be in the moment right now, like processing this? Like you're telling yourself, like, remember this moment? Like, what's going through your head, to be honest?
Oh my God, yeah. I definitely struggle with a lot of anxiety and performance anxiety, and I'm like constantly overanalyzing myself. And luckily I have a lot of amazing people in my life that kind of help me stay grounded and stuff and remind me of like the things I should be focusing on. And um like some of the best advice that I've been given was just to be in the moment and have fun with it. So that's always what I try to remind myself of is like, first of all, being present is like the best thing that I can do. Because as soon as I start to like go off in my head, like I mean, you can tell when someone's like not there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the anxiety comes in and I start overthinking. And music is such like um, it requires so much presence and it requires so much confidence, I feel, to like properly execute that like it's very transparent in the way that people can like really tell what your mental is while you're playing. So, yes, before I go on, I'm like, okay, have fun. You got
Yeah.
this. You can do it. Like, this is just your living room. Don't look at the cameras. Like, just
Yeah.
have fun. I try. Yeah.
Good
That's
mantra. I like it.
yeah, that's good.
Thanks.
So, kind of moving on to talking about being a woman in the music industry, it's obviously like a very male-dominated thing. So it comes with its own set of challenges. What advice would you give to like a young woman that's just starting in the industry that maybe sees your career as like their dream?
That's a great question. Um, I'm so like honored also first of all to be able to be a role model for young women entering the music industry and trying to pursue a similar dream because I feel like I was like searching far and wide for them
Mm.
when I was a kid and luckily there were some, you know, like Jennifer Batten and Nancy Wilson from Heart. Like I would just and Lita Ford as well from the Runaways and Joan
Yeah.
Jett. Like these are some amazing women that I really looked up to. And to try to see like how they did it. I would say feel like there's so much weight to this question in so many ways. Honestly, like, be yourself and don't let anybody get you down. Like no one's opinion is worth putting weight in if it is tearing you down. You know, you'll be told no 1,000 times. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. And as long as you're authentic and true to yourself and doing what you love and what feels right in your heart, then you will get there.
I love
I
that.
love that. Yeah. That was a perfect answer.
Thanks.
What's been like the most empowering part of kind of carving out your space as a woman musician, a woman guitarist in honestly such a male dominated corner of the music industry?
It's been two things. It's like I feel like my success is the best. Like, you know, they say like success is the best revenge. I feel like
Hmm.
revenge is like an intense word to use, but like it just makes me feel so empowered for anybody who ever doubted me. I'm like, look at me now, you
Yeah.
know? And then the second thing is like kind of exactly what we were just talking about. Like when I have like young girls come up to me and say, I want to be like you when I grow up. Or sometimes it'll be like a mom coming up to me and showing me a photo of her daughter and being like, this is my daughter and she plays guitar. And like, I'm going to go home and show her videos that I took of you tonight because you were so inspiring. Like
Mhm.
the fact that I can pay that back and inspire other people is just so rewarding and empowering to me, like in an unimaginable way. It literally keeps me going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When
Mm.
I was at the show last week, I
Yeah.
saw there was a little girl. I only saw them beforehand, so I didn't see them after, but there was a little girl who her mom asked me to take their picture. And she was like, this is her first concert. Like she plays guitar. She like loves this music. She's so excited. And the girl was so shy, but like hearing your answer, she's the girl who popped into my brain with that girl. So hearing
Oh,
that
I
directly,
love that so much.
So, being in the industry also comes with quite a few sacrifices, I'm sure, in terms of like maybe it's like personal things, whatever. What sacrifices have you made to have this career path, and what makes it so worth it for you?
There are a lot of sacrifices for sure. I think one of the main sacrifices I've had to make is being far from friends and family.
Hmm.
Like whether it was the decision to move out to Toronto when I was like 18 to pursue a career in music and be away from my family. And then now getting this gig, you know, I've essentially moved to Nashville at this point,
hmm.
and I had been in Toronto for a decade prior to
Wow.
this. So I'm kind of leaving behind like this entire network of friends that I built and absolutely adore. And I'm being like transplanted into a completely new life over here, which I
Yeah.
love. And it's like a really cool thing that not a lot of people get to experience, where like not only is your environment different, but every single person in your daily life is completely different.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like personal relationships, I guess, and time with those personal relationships that I've had to sacrifice for this. That definitely get me down and make me sad sometimes. So I try to like stay connected as much as I can through FaceTime and stuff and keeping up with my friends. But I think the most rewarding thing is for me is to be able to perform and inspire people and just like be living my dream of doing music for a living. Like I get paid to play music. That's like
Yeah.
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So, and you know, there's a flip side to that is like I get to meet so many amazing, cool people and build
Mhm.
whole new networks in different places. And um, Maren's camp has been so welcoming and sweet to me, and she really has an amazing group of people around her that I feel so honored to be welcomed into. And yeah, it's been great. And I have a whole like group of new friends now that I love.
Yeah.
Feel like Maren would be a good
Mhm.
one to work for sure, because we saw her at it was like Mother in Nashville a few months ago.
Yeah.
And she was talking about like the
Mhm.
community that she tries to build within her camp, and I was like, it just sounds like a great place to be for sure.
She's such a badass, and like she's so cool in what she stands for, and like her fearlessness to stand up for what she believes in is incredible, and like translates to her camp too, and the people that she chooses to be in her circle. Like she's very selective about the people around her, and I love that because I'm that way too. And I've learned that you have to be so careful about the energies that you have in your daily life, and how much that affects you.
Mhm.
um People don't realize how much that stuff actually affects you. So it's been so cool to be a part of her camp. And yeah, I can completely vouch for that. Like she's super cool and just like loves to hang out with us. And she's an awesome human, like through and through.
So how did you start playing for her?
So I had been playing for multiple artists in
Yeah.
Canada. Um, I think I was playing for like almost four artists at once that were
Wow.
kind of like
That's a
touring
lot.
on and off. And I would like, yeah, it was a lot. I would like jump from tour to tour and sometimes like literally like fly from one tour to the next tour and start the next tour. Um, and I was working with a lot of really cool people and very connected people. I had really spent a lot of time building my relationships in the industry, and I think that's partly how I got to where I am so quickly. And I had a few different people in this network send me an Instagram story. And it was a story from Maren's musical director saying that he was looking for a female guitarist for a project who could also sing.
Mm-hmm.
And so these people in my network were like, hey, you should reply to this story. And we've also put your name forward. Like, this seems right up your alley. And this guy is a big deal. Um, he's amazing, David Cook. And so I
Oh.
messaged him and I got a response back from him saying, hey, like, saw your stuff and very cool. Can we set up a call? And so we had a call, and on which he told me that it was for Maren Morris. So cool. And
That's super chill.
he was like, you, I know. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Um, and he was like, I see on your Instagram that like you have a lot of videos playing guitar, but I can't see or seem to find any of you singing. So
Hmm.
can you please send me some stuff? And uh, so I sent him that. Then I didn't hear back for a while. I was like on the edge of my seat. And then he texted me and he was like, okay, like we like what we see. So can you film a 3-song audition
Hmm.
where you're playing guitar and singing? And there were three of Maren's songs. They weren't like the whole song, they were just sections of the song.
Hmm.
But they were like in various styles. One was girl, and so it was like matching the tone, the guitar tone, to the
Hmm.
riff on the record, and then also singing those high harmonies.
Yeah.
And then the second one was I Could Use a Love Song, where I had to like play acoustic and do like the fingerstyle picking and sing at the
Hmm.
same time. And the third one was 80s Mercedes, which is obviously one of her biggest hits and
Hmm.
more of like an electric song. And it
Yeah.
was a live version where I guess they used it like as a set closer at some point, and they had like a whole guitar solo uh, section at the end of the song. And
Hmm.
so he was like, you just like go crazy at the end and make up your own solo. So this was like in the middle of 3 tours for me.
Oh my God.
It was
Oh my gosh.
insane. Time of my life. I was like rehearsing 3 different artists, and then I was going on 3 consecutive tours, one
Yeah.
in Europe, and then flying to LA and starting one like through Middle America, and then a headline tour across Canada. And I remember like getting this email of him asking me to do this, and I was like, okay, like timing's gonna be tight, but I'll see what I
I
can
can
do.
do it.
Obviously, this is something
Yeah.
I'm like willing to stay up all night for and just push myself. And I told him like I might be sending you this from Europe. I'm really like about to start this tour, but I'll see what I can do. And I was like, when do you want this by? And he goes, middle of next week,
Ooh.
which was the day I was leaving for Europe. An MD that I was working with, who directs Goldie
Hmm.
Boutillier. who is a dear friend of mine, and she's an incredible artist. And he Dan Cantor, he was like, okay, Erica, like you got this. Like you can use my basement studio if you need to record and just like bang it out. I know you can do it. So I went over to his house and I filmed myself playing the songs and I was like editing them on the plane to Europe and then I sent them in and I didn't hear anything again for like 2 weeks,
Wow.
also on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And then I got an email from David saying, hey, um, are you available to come and fly down to Nashville for the final round of auditions in person? I was absolutely over the moon about it. I was like, of course. And so I flew down and I had three more songs to learn. And I was the third guitarist of six that day. And also just want to say it was super cool to be a part of that because he like sourced female guitarists who could also sing and play electric guitar. And that's so rare. So I was just so
Yeah.
stoked to like be in the same room as them and like connect with some of them. Our audition times were kind of staggered, but I got to meet a couple of them, and it was just so cool to be like, "Hey, like, you're one of us. Like, we're
Yeah.
cut from the same
We're this
cloth
little,
here." Like,
yeah,
yeah,
this
it's like
little
so
club
rare to
of
find.
cool girls who play guitar.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was so awesome. And yeah, so I did the audition. I thought it went well. I kind of blacked out for part of it. I was so nervous. It was like the craziest like nerve-wracking experience of my life. And then I afterwards, like David gave me a huge high five and texted me and was like, you did great, congrats. And I was like, honestly, if I don't get it, like that's enough for me. Like I'm just so happy and proud of myself that I got to this point and was able to like perform in front of these people. It's like a room full of people and they have like a table at the front with like a light
Yeah.
on it and they're like all sitting there watching me and I'm like I took myself out for lunch after and I like got a beer to decompress and
Yeah.
then I got a call while I was at lunch and it was David and he was like, just wanted to say that you did a great job today. And then he like there's a long pause and then he goes, and Maren wants you in her band.
Ah.
Yeah, I had to go outside and like jump up and down for a
Yeah.
little bit. It was awesome.
Like it just speaks so much to like the connections that you've made over time, like that people would put you forward for that in the first place and just the connections
Hmm.
along the way. And yeah, that's such a cool story. So thank you for sharing it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Of course. I feel so fortunate to have those people in my life. Like connections are so important. That's just circling back to the like advice I would give to people. Like don't underestimate the connections that you make and the
Yeah.
relationships that you build because you never know how they could come back around and help you out
Mhm.
in the future. Like just, be kind, be a
Yeah.
good person.
You're on the Dreamsicle tour now, obviously, and you were talking about some specific songs that were for your audition, but what is like a standout song or moment in the set for you on tour?
So I, as a queer woman, love Push Me Over. I
Yeah.
feel like it's
Woo!
a bi anthem. I love it so much. And I think one of my favorite moments in the set is the transition from Push Me Over to a cover that we play by Tovlo called Talking Body. And we kind of do
Yeah.
those songs back to back. And it's like a part of the set that really like amps up. And I just like, that's my shit. Like I just
That
like
was
go
my
crazy for
favorite
it.
part
And
too.
really,
Yeah.
yay. Yeah, it's so fun. Like Maren and I have a bunch of moments in the song and in Push Me Over. And then at the end of Talking Body, I have this like massive guitar solo. I just get to rip and everyone's usually like on their feet and dancing by that point in the set. So that's my favorite part.
I sent Michaela a text earlier this week saying you need to find a video on the internet of Talking Body guitar solo and watch it because that's all I gotta say. It's amazing.
No, I love it so much. If you can't find a video, then I will send you one because
Yeah, I need
I'm
to see
trying to
it.
collect them from various sources.
Kind of continuing to talk about when you're prepping for a major tour like this, what does your process look like mentally, technically, and like social emotionally?
My gosh. It is a crazy process. I kind of like the first thing I will do is like really immerse myself in an artist's catalog. So, uh,
Hmm.
for Maren, for example, like I go on Setlist FM and I check out the last few sets that she played, and then I make like a playlist of all of those songs, and that's like almost exclusively
Hmm.
what I listen to. And then I'll like surf the internet far and wide and find like live performance videos of her songs and her band and acoustic performances, like everything that I could possibly use as like material to kind of gain knowledge about what the artist likes and what the artist is used to, the different arrangements of the songs that I might be learning, um, the types of like tones that they use and um, how the songs are performed. So that's kind of like my first step. And then once I know like what the set list is or the songs I have to learn are, there's like a huge part of it that's sound design because the pedal board I'm using for my guitar it's called a quad cortex and it's like a digital amp
Hmm.
modeler. So it's like a tiny supercomputer basically that has like so many different
Yeah.
guitar pedals and sounds in it digitally and that can connect to my computer. And so I just like spend a whole lot of time like listening to the album. And usually I get sent like the stems from the album too, which is awesome. So I can like really isolate the guitar parts and try to match the tone. Um, and so yeah, so I'll build like all the sounds that I need. I usually go song by song, and then I try to like memorize and learn all the parts. I'm like really isolating myself as a human being during this time also because usually there's like a time crunch involved. So I like tell my friends like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not going to be coming out like even though it's Friday night, like I'm I can't make it to dinner or go out for drinks because I just need to like fully immerse myself. I feel like it kind of would be like the type of work that like an actor would do before going in for a
Yeah.
role or an audition. Um So there's a lot of that. I literally will like wake up dreaming about the songs. Like it's crazy. Like in the middle of the night, like I have the solos going through my head and yeah, I think I go a
Yeah.
little bit neurotic with it, to be honest with you.
Better to be more prepared, than less prepared.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like a security blanket for me too. Like I'm learning to trust myself more in like the skills that I have more. I think I deal with like a lot of imposter syndrome, so that can be tough for me sometimes, and I'll overcompensate by just like playing it 1,000 times and making sure that I know it front to back. But that's also really come in handy for me because there are times, in like Maren's rehearsals, for instance, we were supposed to rehearse for like about a month, but then we got booked for all these different festivals that were throughout the rehearsal
Hmm.
period, and we lost like over a week of rehearsals that we were supposed to have.
Wow.
So it was like, 12-hour rehearsal days, and some songs like we barely played like twice as a band. And then we're like on
Wow.
stage playing them live. So like I have to be that
Yes.
level of prepared all the time just in
Yeah.
case. But I think something that I'm trying to incorporate more is like a a routine, a grounding routine. Um, so like before just jumping into all the music stuff, because it's so easy to just like get out of bed and be on my phone or pick up a guitar right away. Like I need to like take an hour and center myself. And so I like to take that time and stretch. Like I'll do some yoga. Sometimes I'll meditate a little bit and I'll like try not to be on my phone. I have my morning matcha and like sometimes I journal a little bit and like then I get into my day. And yeah, I'll do like affirmations and stuff too, even to like remind myself who I am and bring myself back into my body. And then I go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's always such a like you can just turn into like a machine rather than like a person.
Yeah, and I'm like so obsessed with it all. So it is really easy to get like a little bit delusional about the whole thing. But that's when I start to like lose myself. It's like, okay, you're allowed to take a break and like call a friend or something, or like
Hmm.
it's okay to have like some phone time and, doom scroll on TikTok for 20 minutes and then get back to it. Because actually, like, you will function better if you give yourself that
Yeah.
time off from learning.
Are you doing all of those things when you're home, when you're on the road? A little bit of both?
I'm really trying to develop that routine on the road and figure out like how I can incorporate that. I have not been good with that at all this past run. Um, I think like it's different on every tour, like because the schedule is always
Hmm.
different. And then I actually love this tour so much because we're on a bus, so I kind of have like one home base as
Hmm.
opposed to like just doing a bunch of fly dates where I'm like
Yeah.
living out of my suitcase.
Yeah.
Like I'm still living out of my suitcase, but at least I have like my bunk that stays the
Uh,
same and I can store my stuff
Yeah.
on the bus. So um, yeah, I'm trying to find some time in the morning and like a place to stretch, but I love like going on a little walk in whatever neighborhood that we happen to be in, or like if we're doing a lot of outdoor gigs, so there's like beautiful
Hmm.
auditoriums that we get to play in, and sometimes they're
Hmm.
like in botanical gardens, and I'll like go for a walk and sit on the bench and journal a bit and trying to read a bit too, which is not going so well.
I was gonna say, you got any good book recommendations?
Not a lot of people seem to recommend this book that much, but I actually really love Rick Rubin's book. It's called The Creative Act.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
it's like some people just think it's a little bit like maybe too spiritual or out there, or I don't know. I just took it like as it is, like face value, what he's
Hmm.
trying to say. I feel like I understand the concepts well. And even if it's stuff that you might feel like you already know, like it was a nice reminder for me to stay connected
Hmm.
to my art and my creativity. And I really liked it.
I was gonna say you're trying to read more nonfiction books. You can add that to your
Yeah,
list.
I am. So I'm gonna add it to my list. I haven't read one for
Wait,
third
what are you
quarter
guys
yet,
reading
so
right now? What book is that?
actually, I'm reading the Jeanette McCurdy book.
Oh, oh my God. Okay, I listen to a podcast a lot
Speaking
called
of
Celebrity Memoir Book Club.
crazy
I
stuff,
don't know if you guys have heard that.
Okay, I've heard of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
no, but I
I love
should.
it. Yeah, it's great. It's like they actually kind of remind me of both of you. It's like two young women and they're like, we read the book so you don't have to. And they like go through the entire story and they kind of like give their own opinions and perspectives on it and they're hilarious. And I remember the Jeanette McCurdy one specifically because I was like, I just couldn't believe that that was her
Yeah.
life and experience. And it's like so crazy and heartbreaking and um, yeah, it's a wild
Hmm.
ride. Maybe I should read the actual book.
It's a crazy story. I mean, from everything that I've heard from people in music, it seems like music is tamer than Hollywood. So, especially her
I
experience in
know,
Hollywood.
truly.
I'm not reading anything right now.
Nice.
I need
Are
to
you
I need
reading
to
anything right now?
Nothing.
No, I've been too busy. I'm just like making excuses. I'm just not reading anything right now.
Next, I'm
I feel
rereading
that. It's
Twilight.
been a minute since I finished.
Oh yeah, we were gonna do a
Yes.
Twilight reread.
Honestly, you should. Those books were so good. Like I would do a Twilight
Yeah.
reread with you guys.
Yeah, you want to join our book
Yeah.
club? We're gonna do a
Book
Twilight
club.
reread. Anyway, back to the real questions. So we were kind of talking about your practices on the road and like what you do mentally and emotionally. So you're currently in North America, correct, on Dreamsicle, but you're about to head to Europe, Australia, New Zealand, basically everywhere.
Mhm.
What have you been enjoying the most so far, and what are you most looking forward to?
Besides the actual shows, I love the feeling of like waking up and not knowing where I am and being in a completely new city. I think that's like one of the joys of being on a
Yeah.
bus is that all the traveling happens at night. So,
Yeah.
we'll like play our show and finish that. And then every night there's a different time that we call bus call, which is the time that the bus starts to
Hmm.
move to go to the next location and it'll be anywhere between like midnight and 3 a.m. typically. So everyone has to be on the bus with all their stuff at that time. And then a lot of times, like sometimes we hang out and like we'll have some beers and chat in the front lounge, and other times we just go to bed. But then like the
Hmm.
bus is always making it to the venue before load-in time, which often is like 7 or 8
Hmm.
a.m. So like I'm still asleep when the bus gets there. And then I wake up and I'm
Hmm.
like, where are we
I'm
today?
here.
Yeah. And I
I
get
don't
to
know
like
where
look
here
out the
is, but I'm
window
here.
and no, literally. And it was so cool in California because like I get to wake up in all these amazing places like San Diego and Santa Barbara, and it's just like beautiful landscapes, and get to like walk through the different towns and visit and just see what it's like. I've like never traveled so much in my life than I have through touring, and I think that's also probably what I'm most looking forward to. I've never been to Australia or New Zealand, let alone paid to go there. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
Is
so
when is
excited.
Australia? Is it
It's in
next
February.
year? Okay. Australian summer. You get
Yeah.
double summer.
Oh my God, true. I didn't think of that. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Perpetual summer.
Yeah, so you don't even have to have
Yeah.
winter this year. That's lucky.
Yes.
I say
All
like you
right.
don't have to experience winter as I'm like sitting here in San Diego and we don't even have winter. So
Yeah, true. Wait,
Rude.
where are you, Abby?
Chicago. So I definitely get
Mm.
winter.
Yeah, brutal winters up there. I get it.
Definitely,
I was born and
definitely.
raised in Montreal,
Yeah.
so it's like becomes a winter wonderland or an ice.
Yeah. Were you in Nashville in January when all of that snow happened?
Was not. I was not.
Ooh,
I
you got
was I think I must have been in Toronto, which also had snow, but it like was not a bad winter by any means. But I
yeah.
hear that snow is rare here and people kind of freak out when it snows.
Yeah.
So,
I was supposed to head down there and like go to the Opry and do all this kind of stuff. And it was like everything just shut down. Flights got canceled, all the shows got canceled, museums closed,
wow,
everything. Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
And what was it, like a couple inches of snow or something?
Probably. Probably. To me, that's like nothing.
That's so funny. Yeah, Toronto is like kind of similar in that they don't get large amounts of snow, so when they
Hmm.
do, they don't know what to do with themselves. And people always make fun of this one time that they called in the army to deal with the snow one year.
Oh my gosh.
They'll never live that down.
Have you played the show in Toronto yet on tour?
No, it's on Tuesday,
Oh
and
my
I'm so
gosh.
excited.
Hometown
Yeah,
show.
I know. I have like so many of my friends coming, and it's gonna be awesome. It's like that's like another part of being on tour that I guess like people don't realize is like kind of a sacrifice, that people like don't get to really see what you're doing except
Yeah.
through social media and stuff
Hmm.
and like word of mouth, I guess. But it's such a treat when I get to bring it back home and have all my friends come see, and I'm like, see, this is what I've been working on.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Is,
awesome.
is there a show in Montreal too, or just Toronto?
Just Toronto, unfortunately. I would love to play Montreal, but hopefully one day. We did get to play Festival d'été de Québec
Hmm.
in Quebec City, and it
Cool.
was incredible. We opened for Shania Twain, and there were 90,000 people there, and it
Oh
was
my gosh.
insane. And my dad came out to that one, so that was really special.
That
what
is
a show
special.
for your family to come
Yeah.
see you play.
I know. No big deal.
Right. Last question is we like to ask a kind of silly question at the end, I guess. Um, we like to ask everyone, what is your song of the day today?
My song of the day. I actually think that I know what it's going to be because my friends are in this band called The Beaches, and
Oh,
it's
we
like
love the
amazing
beaches.
all-girl indie rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. And they just released their album No Hard
Yeah.
Feelings today, and it's so good. I love it so much. Man, I don't even know which one I would pick. I'm loving Sorry for Your Loss and Can I Call You in the Morning right now.
All right.
Yeah, but
I did
I've been
listen to
listening to
it,
the
but
whole album like on repeat. It's so good.
very good answer. I will be listening after this.
Yay. What are your songs of the day?
Ooh.
Oh, I will say, as I was driving home from work to like pregame this interview, I was listening to Dreamsicle. So, um,
Nice.
we'll say
Do you have like a favorite one on the record?
um I mean Push Me Over is like one of the best songs on the album, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I love it so much. If you haven't heard the deluxe version yet, you should listen to it because I absolutely love the songs on the deluxe. Like
Yes.
Running is one of my favorite songs in the whole record. I love getting to play that song. And I love Earth Angel too. It's just like such a banger. So groovy. And her voice is like,
I didn't know Running got added to the set list before I came to the show. And when that one started, I was like,
yeah,
that's
I think
like
that was like the
my
second or third
favorite.
time that we played that.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I love
I
it.
love that song.
Abby, what's your
Me
song of the
too.
day?
Um, in the spirit of new albums, Sabrina Carpenter's album just came out today. So I have been loving
Oh yeah.
Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry is the one that I've been really loving. So
Oh, I haven't listened yet, but I'm excited to listen to it.
we love powerful women in music. That's just kind of the blanket statement.
hmm And it's been a great year for powerful women in music, and like all the pop girlies are slaying right now. So
Yeah.
good.
Before we wrap this up,
Love.
what are all your links? Where can all the people find you?
You can find me on social media. My handle is Hey Erica Fox, Erica with a C. Same across all platforms. I would say I'm most on Instagram and TikTok. And then I just launched my website today. I spent all day
Wow.
making it, and it's
Woo.
heyericafox.com.
I looked at it earlier today. It looks beautiful.
Yes. Oh my God, you must have like literally seen it, and it's like Inception.
Wow. Maybe I was the first visitor.
Honestly, you might have been.
I'm honored. It looks beautiful. So you
I'm
did good.
honored. Thank you.